Captain, what did you just say?
I came to my senses because of Shin Yusung's disbelieving voice.
Say it again. What did you just say right now? What? Companion? That man is your companion?
Yujung didn't reply to the voice filled with distrust. I was surprised as well, but Shin Yusung's shock was devastating. The Yujung with a strong ego called me his companion. Yes, this suddenly scared me. No matter how I thought about it, he wasn't someone who would call me a companion. Didn't this bastard know I was going to be resurrected? The constellation, Maritime War God, is touched by your comradeship. The constellation, Baldron of Justice, is blushing at your comradeship. 500 coins have been sponsored. Now I understood. Yujung was looking for coin sponsorship. It was a little strange to see that Uriel wasn't involved. I became convinced as I watched him bleeding. Considering that this was his third regression, it wasn't impossible for Yujung to say the word companion. In the early rounds, he had called Lee Hyung-sung and Lee Sol-hwa companions when they died. It hurt to think about the large number of coins he would be receiving right now. I couldn't help my emotions becoming cold. Damn, I should have said that line.
Captain, how can you say that?
Of course, Shin Yusung didn't know Yujung's thoughts and looked as if the world had collapsed. There's no choice. The 41st round Shin Yusung. She had never once heard Yujung call anyone his companion. Shin Yusung's fist hit Yujung's blade. Despite the clash between the body and the weapon, the thing that received damage with the sword. It was the SS grade, heaven-shaking sword. Putting aside the special options, the durability and strength was one of the best. Yet this sword was damaged by Shin Yusung's fist. In the end, the heaven-shaking sword failed to overcome the shock and was bent. The mighty, splitting the sky was helplessly deflected.
How dare you say that in front of me?
Shin Yusung shouted and didn't use any special skills. She just threw a punch that contained ether condensed to the limit. Yujung coughed up blood and flew back at the blow. Her attacks, her speed, and her variations. Shin Yusung was superior to Yujung in all aspects. The red phoenix Shunpo and breaking the sky sword that Yujung was proud of faded in front of Shin Yusung. There was a terrible sound of the body breaking, and Yujung was pushed back. It wasn't a matter of talent, but a matter of time. Despite being weakened by the descent, the 41st Shin Yusung was the Beast Lord who was close to the limits that she could reach. On the other hand, the current Yujung was in the early stages of growth.
Why call him a companion? Is it because he sacrificed himself for you? Just because of this?
Blood emerged without stopping. However, Yujung didn't give up. He didn't stop and kept wielding his sword. That jerk? Why the hell was he fighting? I watched the bleeding Yujung and became increasingly frustrated. Shouldn't he run away after realizing something was wrong? Wasn't that what he normally did? Once again, Shin Yusung opened her mouth.
And what about me and the others? Ji-Euni and Hyung-sung Oppa? Sol-ha-Euni? What the hell are the people who fought with you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
There's only one thing I know. Yujung wiped the blood from his lips and said, "You killed my companion this round. Thus, you'll also die." Damn. This time I couldn't help feeling touched. Excessive immersion has restricted some of the features of Fourth Wall. I was fooled by his acting. I read ways of survival for this taste. Come to think of it, I had been in tears when Yujung had said the same thing to Lee Hyung-sung. I suddenly felt restless. A mere reader became a companion of the main character. Shin Yusung looked at Yujung with a face that seemed to have lost everything.
You can't be like this.
An ominous aura filled their surroundings. It was a process where emptiness turned to betrayal, and betrayal turned to anger.
You're changing. I can't tolerate it.
Ether filled their fists. I wanted to watch a bit more, but I was filled with a sense of crisis. Excessive immersion leads to a profound increase in the proficiency of omniscient reader's viewpoint. If this went wrong, then Yujung would really die. I couldn't let him be killed here. I quickly switched the mode of omniscient reader's viewpoint. It was from third person to first person protagonist point of view. Changing your viewpoint to first person. Change to first person protagonist point of view has failed. What? Why? You have failed to meet the conditions to change the viewpoint. I felt like I had been hit in the back of the head. There were two conditions to use first-person protagonist point of view. 1. I must be dead and in an out-of-body state. 2. The target and I should be thinking about each other. The first condition was met, but the problem was with the second condition. That jerk wasn't thinking about me right now? Then what was all the running amok because of revenge? I watched Yujung, who was frantically attacking, and became stunned. Die! I'll kill you! That bastard. Was he thinking about anything?
It can't be helped. I was going to finish quickly, but I changed my mind.
Shin Yusung smiled like she was a devil.
I'll finish off Captain's world in the most terrible way.
Shin Yusung's eyes shifted from Yujung. My heart sank the moment I followed her gaze. Shit. I really couldn't wait here and watch. If I couldn't transfer to Yujung, then someone else. At this moment, a sharp sensation crossed my mind. An unexpected character was thinking of me. Could I transfer to this person? Was it possible? Oh, that's right. It was because Yujung said those words. Yes, maybe it would be better to transfer this person. I don't know. Let's try it. I started projecting my mind towards the person. Then after a while, my vision shook and I became dizzy. Changing your viewpoint to first person. My consciousness was sucked to another place.
Companion?
The first time she heard it, Shin Yusung questioned her ears. Companion? How is this possible? This was Yujung, not another person. Shin Yusung couldn't understand the emotion that blossomed deep inside her heart. It was an emotion she had forgotten for 1,000 years. Yujung, companion. She didn't know what happened to Yujung, but if it was true, perhaps the Yujung of her time towards her. Shin Yusung touched the ground without realizing it.
It's low.
Shin Yusung thought so, thus I thought so.
This is your last chance.
She couldn't tolerate such a lowly thing.
If you cancel your words, then I'll send you away without any pain. Say it. Say he isn't your companion. Just someone you know.
The bleeding Yujung didn't answer, despite his condition. Shin Yusung had crushed one arm, and his legs were still weak. Even so, Yujung's eyes were still alive. Shin Yusung stared at Yujung and gritted her teeth before giving an order.
Hold on to Yujung.
The 6th grade sulfur mummies that had passed through the monster gate started moving. Their white bandages grabbed his body, and his limbs were pulled as if they were going to be torn apart. Shin Yusung declared,
Captain, I'll kill them one by one. You're the one who chose the most painful way.
Shin Yusung walked towards the edge of the island, leaving Yujung alone.
Kill her! She's a disaster!
The incarnations climbing up from the water discovered Shin Yusung. She waved her hands toward them. The incarnations were touched by the light that came from her hands and torn apart like wet newspaper. There wasn't even time for them to scream.
Flood.
Monsters poured out of the monster gate at her order. 2 of the most powerful monsters were standing behind her like they were guards. The 5th grade sea species, King Masswood, and the 5th grade behemoth, Heavy Metal Bean. They were monsters who could cause small disasters in this world. She was about to speak when a sharp strike came from the side.
Where are you going?
It was a flashy sword. The person wielding it wore a black hoodie over a slim skirt. Shin Yusung immediately recognized who she was. Demon slaying was burning in Ligia's eyes.
You dare make Master look like that?
The majesty of a great constellation emerged from Ligia's body. It was the power of a person who was stronger than anyone in the sea. Shin Yusung noticed the stigma that Ligia wanted to use. This place was a river.
To God.
The moment she started reciting a passage, transparent ships emerged from every corner of Han River. 23 ships appeared on Han River, scouring the water. It was a sight that made people speechless. The stigma of Duke of Loyalty and Warfare, Ghost Fleet. Despite the oppressive aura of the ships, Shin Yusung just smiled like she had missed it.
Indeed. This is Unni's skill. Unni? You're a lot older than me. However, you still have a long way to go. The captain should be on the ship. Why are you in a place like this?
Shin Yusung reached her in an instant and touched Ligia's chin. There was no time for resistance.
Poor Unni. You don't know anything. Shit, what is his speed?
Ligia hurriedly retreated, but she couldn't escape her speed.
You don't know. Yujung will use you and abandon you. You'll die.
Ligia's blade flew towards Shin Yusung. Shin Yusung lightly grabbed the blade.
You, who want to be acknowledged by Yujung, died in the sea you loved so much. You were horribly slaughtered by the Japanese who hated your sponsor.
Everybody, attack with full power!
The 12 ships started firing the moment Ligia shouted. Shin Yusung laughed as she watched the flying shells.
Do you know what Yujung said after losing you?
The shells hit Shin Yusung's body. There was the loud sound of an explosion. Shin Yusung emerged from the smoke and kept talking.
In the future, sea battles will be difficult.
The countless shells didn't damage Shin Yusung's white fur armor. It was one of Shin Yusung's unique skills, her strongest defense skill, called Beast King Sensitivity. The white fur wrapped around her didn't tolerate even a single scratch.
Don't worry, Unni. That won't happen this time.
Shin Yusung laughed.
I'll send you away without any pain.